and I'm commander over the Criminal Investigations Division for the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department. This investigation started as just a house fire, is what we initially believed it to be. That report came in Sunday morning at about 10:45 a.m. The house was completely engulfed in flame. Fire was then extinguished, and we started receiving reports Monday of a missing person from Lowndes County, which was this Denisha Lyles. The information that we received is that the house was empty at the time of the fire, so we had no reason to believe that she was inside the house Monday. Then once we started receiving further reports, her car was found and it was unoccupied, coupled with the fact that the father had came to our office, gave a statement that her last known location was at the 65 River Drive in Haynesville, which is the location of the fire. We reached out for the fire marshals. Fire Marshal Deputy Toby Knight arrived, and I'm not sure the other fire marshal that came. They did an outstanding job. They went through the wreckage and they identified a body, unknown female body at this point. She was burnt beyond recognition. Body was then recovered. Their arson dog came in and advised that there was an accelerant used both on the body and in the house itself. Once the body was recovered, taken to DFS, autopsy was performed, and during the autopsy, it was identified that she had been shot 3 times, and the cause of death was gunshot. So she was dead prior to the fire. So this is all kind of happening almost at the same time. So as we're developing more information, we were able to locate a vehicle that was used to transport Mr. Thomas to the gas station where the gas that was purchased. The driver of the vehicle had no reason to know what his intentions were because he stated that he was going to cut his grass, and his grass did need to be attended to, so he said he left him there. So once we found that out, then we also received additional information that Mr. Thomas was contacting members of his family in an attempt to destroy evidence. And evidence being the sneakers that were located. So with that, him being identified as going to the house, the last person to be at the house, we conferred with the district attorney's office, and we stayed in constant contact with them, and it was determined that we had probable cause to make the arrest for arson and for murder.
The suspect, he has a prior criminal history?
Yes, he's got several priors, but I think he was just released on, it was either the attempted murder. I think he may have also had other similar charges, violent felony offenses.
That was going to be one of my questions, because in looking at, when I looked up in the outlook court, I saw the attempted murder. It looks like he was released on there, but it seemed like there was a prior attempted murder he was out on bond for when that crime was committed.
Yes.
I also noticed in court records where it appears on Sunday that he was cited for leaving the scene of an accident.
Yeah, that's correct. So the information that we have is that once his house was on fire, several members contacted him to advise him that the house was on fire. He then responded to the house, and he actually stated to one of our deputies that there was no one inside. He then immediately left the scene. With leaving the scene of the fire, he becomes involved in an automobile accident. He then leaves the scene on foot of the automobile accident and is called back to the scene.
Which Sunday specifically did the house fire happen?
It's going to be Sunday the 15th? Sunday the 15th.
Of this month?
Yes, sir.
And then, thanks to the fire marshal's office, y'all discovered the human remains on Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, there was a house fire. We were told that it was empty, and then when we started getting more information about Miss Lyles, we thought that it would be important to go through the house, and who better to do it than the people that deal with the fires.
All right. And I'm assuming it's based on that relationship as the reason y'all are fairly certain of who the victim is?
Well, yes.
and it's just waiting for DFS to confirm it.
Yes, sir.
And what was that relationship specifically between the victim and the suspect?
Boyfriend and girlfriend. He lives here in Hayneville. She lived in Tallahassee. They would go back and forth visiting. And on this particular night, she had dropped her kids off so that she can come see him. I believe the reason was he may have stated to her that a family member of his had passed and she was coming to comfort him. And that was the last contact anybody had with her, was that Saturday night prior to coming here.
Sir, was there anything that the suspect said happened prior to the Sunday house fire or anything like that?
No, not prior to the fire. Well, let me take that back. According to the suspect, his story is he was home sometime in the early morning hours. 3 people arrive at his house. Initially, he said that he didn't know who anybody was. Then he changed his story to he didn't want to snitch. Then he identified Miss Lyles as one of the suspects. And I believe her son was identified as a second suspect. And then he went on to state that after they took $10,000, he hid in the bathroom for about 2 hours. He comes out of the bathroom. The son then forces him to drive Miss Lyle's car to Mosses, Alabama, which was walking distance from where his grandmother lived. Then he enlists another person to drive him from Mosses back to Hayneville. We found that to be a little outrageous, to be honest with you, but we continued on until we were able to verify that that story isn't exactly true.
I guess the last question for me relates to that identity. Has DFS kind of said when they anticipate confirming an ID or having an ID?
No, we've secured DNA profiles from family members, and we're going to send that to DFS along with the samples that DFS has. And then unfortunately, DFS typically takes several months before they'll send results back.
That's basically it for me.
Sir,
That's it?
that's all the questions I have.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, as officials at the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office investigating an arson and murder there, they believe the victim is Denisha Lyles, but as you just heard, they are investigating, looking at DNA right now, evidence to confirm that. Officials say they have made an arrest in this case. You can go back and watch this news conference right now on our website and on social media. We will have more on our website coming up a little bit later on this afternoon. We're going to head to the break.